Welcome, the War Team of Light is back with another epic video. Hi, my name is Phoebe, but you lovely people are more than welcome to call me Peebs. Shadowlands and Shadowbringers are the same thing, and Shadowbringers did it better. And no, I'm not talking about that viral tweet we had at one point. I don't even remember what was on it, because I was in Shadowbringers and no, we're talking lore, we're talking... You'll see. Editing peeps here. Just want to let you guys know there's tons of spoilers here for Shadowbringers. If that's not your jam, cool, I get it. I absolutely suggest you skipping this until you do make it to the content. When you do, it's an interesting topic to discuss, so I highly suggest coming back, but still, spoilers, honey. Before getting into that though, if you're into this sort of stuff, you like lore, deep dives, comparisons, gaming, or just nerdy stuff in general, well, honey, you're home. Hit that subscribe button, because listen, we tend to do nerdy here pretty well. Alright, what am I talking about? Let's get into why Shadowbringers and Shadowlands are the same and why Shadowbringers did it better. Quick little weeny disclaimer. Obviously they ain't the exact same. Obviously. They do have a lot of similarities in their larger story content, and that's what we're looking into today. But obviously, listen, there's no jailer in Shadowbringers, and no, we are not comparing Emmett Selk to the jailer because that's offensive. So let's talk about the few things that really are quite similar. First off, we are introduced to a new world that is fabled, that is written in books, never quite seen before. Through a tower, and we're given an introduction on how shitty things are in this world. We are given an entire new cosmos, a cosmetology, I don't even know if that's the right word for it, but a whole new set of belief systems of what our world and understanding of the world is. We are also told about the gods' greater plans, what choices they've made, why they've made those choices, and given a broader understanding of gods in general. A lot of big, way out of left field topics that are world changing. That's what's really similar about these two. But let's break them down and you'll see they get real different real fast. Warcraft has us chasing the big bad guy, Sylvanas, into the Maw, where we learn that 1, this is literal hell, 2, it's bad. It's really bad here. It's gray, it's spiky, it's super bad. There's this place called Torghast, just as bad and spiky and skeletal and bad. And like the devil dude has a fucking army. Like stuff's not going well for us. Our friends are split up from us. Oh boy. And then introduction to the expansion. Shadowbringer has you going in through the Crystal Tower, and you're immediately brought into a world where it's beautiful actually. It's quite stunning. The floor, the colors, bright, white. What changes is the subtlety of the storytelling. You meet a merchant who is funny and drunk, and within 3 minutes of meeting this merchant that is funny and drunk, you realize he's funny, drunk, and dead. Really dead. Yeah, shit got real fast. And then I'm going to count the quests with Alfino and Alisaie here, because you very quickly learn that not only is this place maybe beautiful, it's fucked up. Like, there's a lot of bad stuff going on. Once you realize that these white things are real bad news, Teslene's story, listen, if Teslene doesn't grab you by the balls and really bring that story to life, that oh shit, we're in trouble, I don't know what will. And you know, looking back at it, I felt the sense of danger bigger when Teslene's story than I did in the Maw, which is literal fucking hell. There's a big difference between being like drawn to realizing that you're not in a safe place which you think you are, versus the this is bad. So bad. There's armies bad. Spikey's bad. Bad, bad, bad. Like, you know what I mean? It's a slap in the face of, here, it's a little much. But you see the difference in the storytelling really quickly. Now, this one's a bit of a cardinal sin, and you'll catch it when we get there. But we also learn about the gods. In Shadowbringers, we're taught about Hydaelyn and Zodiark being fucking primals, which is big news. And we're not taught all at once about this thing. We're really held by the hand in the questline. We come into an ancient cave with some ancient drawings, and they kind of let us know what's going on. We also get the story from an ancient person who lived it to figure out what's going on. Ascians. Fucking Ascians, man. Ascians. But we do finish the story with the ideas that the gods are directly interfering with us and making decisions on what they want. On the Warcraft side, you've got a large, incredibly anticipated moment where you're finally meeting one of the biggest gods in the game that's mysterious, been there since day one, Elune. You learn about her choices and why she did them. Namely, her decision to kill most of her believers so that they could come undead or in the army of the dead to fight against the devil dude. But aha, the devil dude totally siphoned them in and made an army for himself. Whoopsie daisy. This was the moment where you met a character that's been there for 20 years. A character that might have been thought of before that. This is a character which you've been hinted at that has mysterious powers, insight, knowledge, love. Her tears bring power to the world. But whoopsie daisy, didn't see that coming, my bad. I'm not saying gods can't make mistakes. There's a way to do it. And your first meeting with a character that has existed for 20 plus years is that there's a big payoff miss. This could have been a much better introduction earlier in the expansion, and then you find out their greater plan, whether it failed or succeeded, but whatever, but what a miss. And then we talk about the cosmetology, the whatever that word is, the cosmos, the belief system. Shadowbringers honestly changed how we view the world that we live in, the source. First of all, we didn't know it was called the source, or we did, but didn't get it really directly. We understand what the first is, why the first is that way, who were the first people, why it was split up in the first place. I said first a lot. We're taught this slowly throughout the expansion, whether we go to the library and the librarian helps us out, whether one of our friends, they studied and they learned something and they want to tell us it, or whether ancient people want to tell us what's going on, Ascians. But because we're giving it to it in small, palatable pieces with small cutscenes to go with it that are voice acted, the information isn't lost. We kind of leave Shadowbringers having a solid understanding of what's going on, why it's important, why we're here, what is here, etc. And Warcraft, well, there's this one quest where you gotta buy a fucking book. Yeah. For you to understand how the cosmos works, how the different planes of existence work, where the Shadowlands fits in the existence, you gotta buy a book. Or Google it. To me, that's the biggest sin. This is a fucking RPG. What are you doing putting your stories in books? But yes, in Grimoire of the Shadowlands and beyond, the actual cosmetology chart is there for you to understand where the Shadowlands fits in our world. It's a little different from a previous cosmetology chart, but I'm not salty about that. I couldn't care less, because the idea that your character might not have known And then they learn more as the story continues, such as Shadowbringers with Udianger coming up with more information later, or Emmett Selk correcting the information you know. It's not a bad thing that your character doesn't know everything and, oh, well, this is how it is. I get it. But no, the cardinal sin here is you put it in a damn book. Again. Final Fantasy is the example of how to take something out of fucking left field. World travel, changes in the cosmos, the fact that the person that's been talking to you is not just a god, but a primal, the introduction to a whole new world that we have never heard of. They took what you knew, threw it out the window, taught you a bunch of new things. And that's a very hard thing to do, generally speaking, and have players like it. But Final Fantasy is how you do it correctly. You do it with time. You lay it out. You plant the seeds in. You let it grow. Small, palatable, little informational sessions or informational quests. Maybe some good dialogue to get you to the next step. Udianger had this chart that he was studying and he learned. And then the Exarch helped him with it. And then Emmett Selk corrected it a little bit further. We learned about this thing and we walk into Endwalker knowing what's coming. Well, I mean, knowing how it works, kind of, I guess. Warcraft tried to do the same thing. They try to show us a whole new world, the land of the dead. What happens there? How does the planar travel work? The cosmetology of it, the story of the land of the dead. This is where you learn of a sister of a god. A lot of big moments. And this is what happens when you don't flesh your story out correctly and you don't let your characters breathe. Elune's moment could have been huge if they planted that scene at the very beginning. Or the moment Tyrande walked into the Shadowlands, Elune helped her out. What if we got that cutscene? You see what I mean? Like, a small moment would have made the second moment a lot easier. The cosmetology chart, you this and that's sinful. So writers, if you get anything from this video, let your characters breathe. Take a moment to plant those seeds early and then have them be that real payoff. And if you ever need help, well, ask Square Enix. They seem to know what they're doing. Alright, that's my thoughts, but what about yours? Let me know in the comment section down below. Keep it cute. Listen, I know that this video may have ruffled a few feathers, and that's okay, it happens. We're people talking about video game story. We can do that civilly, I think. So keep it civil in the comments. If you like this video, give me a big old thumbs up. If you didn't, well, cool. Be honest with me. I'm a big girl. I can handle it. Bonus points if you tell me why you didn't like it. Feedback is the best way to improve. And if you like videos like these, you like lore, deep dives, gaming, Final Fantasy, or just nerdy stuff in general, well, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button. And while you're down there, ring that bell. That way you'll get notifications every time I go live or upload, which we do a lot. A lot. I'm here 3 nights a week streaming. I upload at least a video a week, which we've got a lot more than that planned for the foreseeable future, so you know. Alright, my story nerds, have a legendary night, and I can't wait. Alright, my story nerds. Have a legendary day, and thanks again for being here, and I can't wait to see you guys again on the next one. Bye! Imagine comparing the jailer to Emmett Selk. For real. The cheek, the nerve, the gall, the audacity, and the gumption.